2. Ouch. Yikes.
Round 1.
Excuse me, I believe you have my stapler.
Fight.
Staple versus. Okay, so I didn't explain this very well, I don't think.
What do you mean?
We got some confusion going. Okay, so staple versus. Just
Okay.
really quick how staple versus works here. The deck we are working with is only these 2 colors that we're dealing with.
I mean, I don't think it has to be.
Well, I mean, it could be more, but we know it's
Yeah.
at least the 2 colors that we're working with, or whatever
Yes.
colors we're, whatever these 2 cards are. There is only one spot in this deck that it's fitting both of these cards, so we assume
Yes.
it's one of these 2 colors or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You only have one spot. It isn't like what decks you put it in. It's if you're only playing this is what the last spot is, and choose one.
I think it's vague, but it can be specific to whatever your experience would be.
Correct. What do we got for this week's staple versus?
Okay, so Faithless Looting, which is
Boo.
amazing. 1 red
Boo.
sorcery. You get to draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards, and then it has flashback red to colorless to draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. And it's banned in Modern. It's one of the best red draw spells there is.
Because
There's no competition in,
That's why I keep
in
building
red.
decks with it.
In red. But in this case,
But
we're
we're in a
comparing
red
it
and
against
blue
a blue.
deck. We're a red
Yes.
and blue deck. So we're totally going to play a red card, right? Because we don't have the disposal.
What does Ponder even do?
Ponder is
Just because
a
that's
one-
banned in Modern too. Who cares?
That is a good point. It is good comparison, Larry. I also
know.
want to point
I
this
know.
out really quick. Faithless Looting, 91,000 EDH rec decks.
Mm-hmm.
Ponder, 92,000 EDH rec decks. So
Ooh,
these
this
are
is a
fucking
good
just
comparison.
even. Yeah, and they're both banned in Modern, but we're talking about EDH, so
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So the deck we're dealing with is a blue and red deck. Ponder is 1 blue. It's also a sorcery. You get to look at the top 3 cards of your library, put them back in any order. You may even shuffle. If it's just like, hey, land, it's like, fuck, this sucks. Let's shuffle it up. And then you draw a card.
Yeah.
What? Do I even need to go any further? I feel like I just need
What
to
do you
mic
mean?
drop.
What do you mean? Wow, a mic drop? You think it's
Mic
that
drop.
good?
Mic drop.
Look.
Mic drop.
Look, you get to see 3 cards, but you only are replacing the 1 Ponder. That's all it's doing.
What happens,
either way.
What happens when you draw Faithless Looting and you have no hand?
Oh, you get to draw 2 cards and put those into the graveyard, which is great in the decks that
In the
I
blue and
play
red
with.
deck, right?
Yes,
In the blue and
exactly.
red deck, it's
And
fantastic. Because
normally, I always
recurring
play
what?
with some type. Yeah, Snapcaster
Recurring-
Mage. You got Torrential Gearhulk. You got plenty of cards that can bring those
You're-
cards back. You got Savant. And I know that I'm saying specific commanders, but I play more cards that allow me to play from the graveyard, and that's what I want to be able to do because that opens up my
So
deck
that
building
You're
and
not
it gives
drawing
me
the cards. You're just throwing them away.
I-
You know how many
I-
people hate
plenty of that.
discarding? Discarding is like one of the worst things for most people.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to lose, but it's it's something good. So like in a Dragon's Approach deck, I'm able to draw. It doesn't even matter if I have cards in my hand. I just want to be binning cards so
But
I
we're
can
not
get
playing a
Dragon's
Dragon
Approach. in there.
Approach deck. We're
I'm
playing
just
a
saying it's
blue and
whatever
red
it is.
deck. We're
You
playing a
can
blue and
have
red.
whatever as long as you're playing with your graveyard. A red.
Well, since we're talking about
Faithless
other
Looting
colors,
is
I
gonna be
mean, this Ponder doesn't get affected by cards that hinder you when you're drawing cards because it's looking at the top 3. So Notion Thief doesn't come into effect.
You still draw an extra card there.
Yeah, but you're not
do you
drawing
mean?
3. You're not drawing 3, and you're
For
not
sure,
doing the
for sure.
Notion Thief thing. And if you're doing it with Faithless Looting, you're drawing 2 cards.
So are you
going
gonna
to
say that like Brainstorm is worse than Ponder? Is that what you're?
We're not
your
talking about
thought?
Brainstorm right now.
I know, but you're just saying drawing cards is bad. Seems ridiculous.
I made sure to write
Sounds
down
ridiculous.
cards from now on. Now.
Okay.
Psychic Possession, Nekasar effects,
Okay.
anything that has to deal with when you're drawing cards, you take damage.
Yeah.
Mind's Eye, you no longer have to worry about the opponent having Mind's Eye and they're drawing off
Okay.
of you. Consecrated Sphinx. They aren't drawing 6 cards
So,
off of you.
so what you're saying is you
Wedding
are fine
ring,
playing
smothering
a
tide.
worse card, so you don't draw as many.
No, it
to
gets
not-
around that because it's a looking at the top 3 cards.
But
And
looking
then-
at the top 3
and
isn't
then-
amazing.
You know why this is better than
unless you can
than-
do it a bunch of times like
So we're not-
Sensei's top.
We're not doing Brainstorm because I was going to say this is why it's better than Brainstorm is because Brainstorm you look at the top 3 and if there's garbage there, you have to deal with those 3. You can't shuffle. This is a shuffle effect. This has shuffle on it. And
I'll
we
admit,
talk about
I'll
that.
admit the shuffling part is pretty sweet. That makes it really good.
One of the
That
big
makes it
things-
really good.
The biggest thing that you have with Faithless Looting is being able to play from graveyard with graveyard decks, but we're not talking about. We're talking
It
about.
doesn't
blue
have
and
to
red.
even be graveyard decks. You could just
We're talking
do.
about blue and red.
There's so many cards that just work with the graveyard, and as long as you open
We're
up
in-
your catalog to
We're
work
in
with
blue
cards,
and red.
yeah,
We're-
yes,
Why
yes.
are you playing a red card when you have all this blue at your
What
disposal?
are you talking about? Because you get
You
a
know
bunch
the
of
other
cards that
cards
you
that-
don't need in your hand. Just get rid of them. Just get rid of them. You don't need those cards. You should hit the button for build a better deck.
I should get back to.
I would just say build a better deck.
Look,
The other thing is you have flashback. I'll give you that. You got flashback. You can play this from. your
what
graveyard.
about cards that allow you to draw or have more benefits when you draw more cards? Something like Chasm Skulker or Psychosis Crawler. You have Teferi's Timeless Insight, where I can draw 4 and discard 2. That seems pretty good.
Again? Discarding.
But you're drawing 4 cards off of 1. With Ponder, you'd only look at the top 3, draw 2 of them.
Oh,
like-
darn it!
Not that good. Not that good. I'd rather see more cards.
I'd rather see more and discard 2. So you're drawing the same amount, right?
There's even cards that
Wait.
allow you to have discard effects.
In
Like
the-
if
in
I'm
the
discarding
end.
cards,
In the
and
end,
I
you're
can have
drawing
a
4 and
bonus to it.
discarding 2, so you're ending up with a positive 2, right?
+1 technically. Technically, Faithless Looting, you're down 1 card advantage.
Well, no,
Because
because Ponder,
you're-
you're
no,
having to do that too, though.
No, Ponder is 1 for 1, so it's just a cantrip. Like you're not actually drawing cards. Like it's just a replacement
You're
effect.
right, because it is
With-
2 and then
Yeah,
Yeah,
Faithless
you're right.
Looting, you're casting a card, drawing 2
arguing
and
for me.
discarding
Stop
2.
it. Get it out of here.
And so you're -1 card at the end of the whole deal. But when you flash it back,
then you're minus.
you've seen more cards. You've seen a lot more cards at that point.
See, I like to see my cards and then decide I want to put them back on top or just shuffle them back in. I don't want to
Yeah.
throw them into
Yep.
my graveyard.
I
and get
mean,
rid
if
of them.
I was you, I would just love all the cards I have in my deck. And so I would just
I
hit
would
the
just
button.
say build a
Thank you.
better deck.
I almost got it perfect with you saying I would just.
gold. All right. So, like, we all know that it literally, Faithless Looting literally allows you to draw more cards. And that's just better. That's just better.
It's only good in your early to late or mid games.
Early to mid and everything in
No.
between.
No, if you get this late game, that sucks. If you have no hand or 1 card in your hand,
Who doesn't have a hand? You don't have a hand.
hashtag winning.
Hit the
I would
button.
just say build a better deck.
But you get that late game, it's the only card. You're all right, top of the card, heart of the cards, Yu-Gi-Oh! It, and you pull the top card, and you're like,
What
fuck,
game are you playing?
fuck, and you have
What game
and
are you playing?
endless amounts of mana, and you're like, all right, I tap 1, draw 2 cards,
Are
discard
you
2
not
cards.
like
Now I
sandbagging
flashback.
lands? You can hold a land in your hand knowing that you have these cards that can come up.
Oh,
Careful
out of
Study is a
100
great
cards?
blue card.
Out of 100 cards, you're
Yes.
gonna be, hey, Faithless Looting
Yes.
might come up out of me my 100 cards. No, Ponder, you don't have like I hope I don't draw this when I don't have a hand. This is like, hey, anytime I draw this
Shit,
card,
That's a good point.
it's fantastic.
Look, I think the big thing about the Ponder is like in blue, you just probably have better cantrips for 1 blue. And so like to me, it kind of like loses its luster and like Preordain's probably better. Brainstorm's definitely better. Brainstorm
Yeah.
is probably one of the best cards ever printed.
But we didn't do
It's-
Brainstorm because it didn't compare.
Yeah.
like
No,
you know,
no,
'cause
Ponder's definitely. And so I'm just saying Ponder pales in comparison to those two. And it's almost as bad. And you just like it's down
as
here
bad.
comparing it to Faithless Looting, the red card. Come on. How is
I know.
how is
We're at a blue red deck. Why are we even considering this?
why because Ponder is not it's maybe
Oh,
but just a
bullshit.
little
Don't
bit
even
below
do it.
Faithless Looting. That's
Don't
all I'm
even-
saying. That's
don't even-
all I'm saying.
Larry, you
I would just say build a better
just build a
deck.
better deck, buddy.
Yeah.
Get rid of that
Synergies,
red.
graveyard synergies, drawing synergies, all that stuff is good.
Hey,
Do you have like shuffling synergies? Is that how you got a card there? Are you gonna
you
do like psychic
don't even go there.
vortex or
You
something?
love shuffle abilities, especially. Yes. That's why we have fetches. That is why we have fetches. and that
Yeah,
is why
I
we
have
play
fetches. I
senses.
don't need Ponder.
All right. I think our arguments are done. Unless you have more.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, I did say gets around Hull Breacher. I know it's banned, but then that's when I started with the Smother and Tithe, Wedding Ring, all that fun stuff.
You're totally right. It's so good against those banned cards.
All right. If you guys can go and vote on this either on the YouTube community tab. You can vote on that in the Discord if you're a part of the Discord, or you can vote on Twitter. Those are up for about a week, and then we will give you guys the results that Ponder was the winner. Next week,
Wow.
we'll go over all that.
What good art are you going to pick for Ponder this week over Faithless Looting, you
Let's
visual
see.
cheater?
Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff here. I might. Oh, there's a secret layer. Is there a secret layer for a Faithless Looting?
No, there isn't.
Oh, I could use the shitty Strixhaven one. Where it looks really bad with the art, and I know it was a controversial one. It's I'm totally gonna use
Don't use that one.
I'm totally gonna use that one.
You can't. It'll kill me. It's
all
just
right.
bad. It's just so bad.
It's really bad. All right, so you guys
I'm
can vote on
doomed.
that, and then.